digital etiquette, laws and rights and responsibilities. These topics have objectives. First is to know the definition of digital etiquette, its examples, and its importance. Second is to know the definition of digital laws and determine ethical and unethical use of the internet. Third is to determine the information and communication freedom. And lastly is to determine the rights and responsibilities of an individual in digital literacy. Digital etiquette, examples, and its importance. What is a digital etiquette? Digital etiquette or netiquette referred to as a basic set of rules pertaining to be followed to make the internet a better place for all the users. It basically means the use of good manner in online communication such as email, forums, blogs, and social networking sites. It is important to treat others the way you want to be treated, with courtesy and respect. Hence, knowing your audience and knowing how to communicate accordingly are some of a good etiquette in the digital world. Importance of digital etiquette. Learning how to conduct oneself online is essential to prevent the digital world become hostile and dangerous place of pretenses, false comfort, and misinformed facts. Now, what are the rules and misinformed facts? Since the rules of digital etiquette depends on the technology used by an individual, there are several principles applied in general regardless of the technology being used. First, use respectful language. Avoid using language that are strong and offensive. For instance, name-calling, cursing, expressing deliberately offensive opinions, and many more. Regardless of how safe an individual behind the screen, it is no excuse to be ill-mannered or say something one would never say in public. Second, respect people's privacy. Don't forward information sent to you without asking permission to the original sender. Other users may not want their names or email addresses be publicized to people they do not know. Third, fact-check before reposting. It is important to check first information that you're about to disseminate if it is true or not before hitting the send or post button. It may cause trouble or false information to those who received or saw the information. Updating the information is also important to keep it from inaccuracy. Fourth, proofreading. It is necessary to read first what you have wrote before sending or posting it to avoid unnecessary distress or offense to the recipient. One typo or autocorrect is all it takes to change the entire sentiment of a message. Last, know your audience. Knowing your audience before communicating is important to know when to be formal or informal. Now, here are some examples of appropriate and inappropriate digital etiquette. Examples of appropriate digital etiquette are not answering the phone while talking to someone, not using offensive words, being careful with abbreviations, letting people know you are signing off, and protecting private information. Now, the examples of inappropriate digital etiquette are using capitalized letters all the time. People may believe you're annoyed or shouting at them. Posting inappropriate messages or media on social media. Using any form of media for cyberbullying or like behaviors. Spamming others. Sending a chain of continuous messages can lead to banning from any social media platforms. And catfishing or posing as someone. Lying about your identity to others can cause serious psychological harm to the victim.
Digital laws. It is electronic responsibility for actions and deeds. It is mainly refers to what you are allowed and not allowed to do while using the internet. It is also defined as the digital world obligations. This is the legal rights and restrictions to govern every users because many people are not responsible digital citizens. Technology is good, however, some users often takes advantage to commit crimes. Breaking the law with or without awareness of what is appropriate or inappropriate technology use is still considered as violations and crime. The importance of digital law is to manage policy, shape behavior, and handle all of the common issues relating to internet use. Also, users need to be taught and informed about different violations and their consequences. With this, the society and the world will able to achieve technology advancement with responsible digital citizens. There are two types of internet use, ethical use and unethical use. Ethical use encompasses all activities on the internet that are accepted by the laws of society. Examples of ethical use of the internet include proper citations, respecting others, and reading and abiding by the terms of use for references, applications, and etc. that you use. On the other hand, unethical use encompasses all activities on the internet that are not accepted by the laws of society. Some examples are copyright infringement, plagiarism, illegal downloading, piracy, online identity thief, cyberbullying, scamming, and hacking. Copyright infringement, it is using or producing copyright protected material without the permissions of the copyright holder or owner. For example, you copy the titles or slogan, ideas, or concept without permissions or agreement with the owner. Or you read in a book and you use a phrase or sentence that's actually found in someone's work in exact form. There is also known copyright infringement law to protect someone's work. This work may be literary, films, musical, artistic, architectural, and etc. To avoid violations against copyright infringement law, take time to understand the law or never use any works owned by others without permissions to do so. Plagiarism, it is using other people's own work or ideas without full acknowledgement to the owner and owning it as your own with or without their consent. Plagiarism may be intentional or accidental. For example, a student writing a speech for his English class. Intentionally, he copied some sentences on the speech he found on the internet without acknowledging the author and permissions to do so. So, this is considered as plagiarism. Illegal downloading, it is obtaining files without the rights of using it from the internet. For example, you download a song or films without paying. Illegal downloading and piracy are interconnected. Illegal downloading is effectively piracy. Piracy is duplicating unauthorized copyright content and selling it for a cheaper price. But before this advanced technology like mobile phones to watch movies and more, we have CDs. And there's a lot of case of piracy. People can copy those CDs manually and sell for cheaper price, and that is pirate CDs. But today, with advances in mobile technology, piracy became easier. People can download now and copy computer programs, books, music, and films and distribute them over the internet. Online identity thief, stealing personal identity and information to commit fraud. It happened when a person with interest have access to your personal identifiable information and pretends to be you for personal gain. So it is important to have a strong password. Always lock your phone because it contains personal data, contacts, accounts, and many more. Avoid oversharing posts and pictures in social media. Regularly check your privacy settings and many more to consider to protect yourself. Cyberbullying, the use of electronic means to bully or harass other people online. This include online threats, rude messages, tweets, posts, pictures, or videos which intended to hurt someone else. Like other forms of bullying, cyberbullying affects psychological, emotional, and physical. The victim may experience depressions and anxiety, so the attacker may be charged with harassment. Scamming, a deceptive scheme used to someone out of something. It may happen through social media, email, SMS messages, and more. There are common types of online scams such as phishing, shopping scam, fake lotteries, and more. Usually, the scammer is very convincing to trick victims out of money, property, and so on. Hacking, unauthorized use of computer and network resources. The hacker purposes may be to steal or leak information, disrupt services, for money, or to create virus. Creating virus is a software program capable of reproducing itself and usually capable of causing great harm to files or other programs on the same computer. Virus may delete files and permanently damage them. There are common types of computer viruses. Some of these are named as Morris Worm, Nimda, I Love You, Stuxnet, and CryptoLocker. They are some of many computer viruses which are considered as notorious computer viruses of all time. Information and communication freedom. Digital freedom is the right of the users to access, use, create, and publish digital media or other telecommunication networks without being monitored. Every day, as we can see, there have been so many transactions, and some of these activities are different to manage than in the past, like paying using debit card, use mobile wallets to load cash from your bank account. You can also order food online, shopping online, and many more. In digital world, users have the freedom of information and communication. Freedom of information is the freedom of an individual to access, consume, and publish information through online. It refers to the protections of the right with regard to the internet and information technology. The right to privacy is achieved if the users can choose of what type of information they would like to share and post, and will decide if it is shown to public or to make it private. It is also enable users to be empowered and make full use of access to the internet to access and impart information effectively. Freedom of communications is the freedom of an individual to publicly express one's opinions and expressions online. This freedom of expressions can be done in any medium such as writing, oral, videos, photos, and more. In social media, many people do sharing, posting, give comments, and there have been so many violations. Therefore, freedom of communications must be done or practiced in a responsible and respectful manner. To form an effective digital system for everyone, then the use of freedom of informations and communications must be accurate.
Digital rights and responsibilities. Digital rights and responsibilities is having the right and freedom to use all types of digital technology in an acceptable and ethical manner. Digital rights of ownership is the right of an owner to have permission and access and use data and information we own. Digital rights. These are the extension of human rights by the United Nations as applied to the online world. It is the guarantee access to the internet, avoiding the so-called digital divide, inequality in access to the internet and information and communication technology in a proper use of the network available for everyone. Some examples are right to access and use computers or other electronic devices, right to access and use digital content, right to create and share digital media, right to privacy in digital communities, right to express your ideas and options freely, right to report anyone or anything that seems inappropriate, right to freedom of expression, right to privacy, right to credit for personal works, right to digital access, right to our identity. It is important to maintain personal privacy by not sharing any personal private information. Assist only the technology when we're supposed to. Use caution when talking to someone you don't know. Create a platform to voice out your option or findings. Use technology to gather information, communicate, or for other personal use.
Digital responsibilities. Digital responsibility ethically ensures that an individual must use all types of technology in an acceptable and ethical manner, in that to practice one's right to privacy and freedom of expression in an appropriate manner. Some examples are use appropriate language and behavior when interacting with others, respect the opinions and ideas of others, obey all intellectual property laws, do not use or share others' work without permission, follow rules and codes of conduct for every internet site, responsibility to report cyberbullying, threats, and the inappropriate use of digital resources. It is important to utilize proper online etiquette, give the author credit for the work you use, Voice respectfully your opinion through a technological venue. Respect others' point of view on the internet and explain your disagreement, and stand against cyberbullying.